Fox News alert on a jam-packed day in the nation's capital. House Republicans taking direct action in their demand for witness transcripts in the impeachment inquiry, calling for Democrats to lift the veil of secrecy over the entire process. Hello, everyone. I'm Dana Perino, and this is the Daily Briefing. GOP frustration over the lack of transparency in the impeachment inquiry hitting the boiling point. Dozens of House Republicans, including Congressman Waltz, attempted to force their way into the closed-door interview of the latest witness. Now, that witness is Laura Cooper, Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense, the first career official from the Pentagon to testify on the matter. Let's bring in that Congressman, Republican Congressman Michael Waltz of Florida, member of the House Armed Services Committee. So tell me what happened today, what you attempted to do.
Well, Dana, we held a press conference, I think, with several dozen members expressing our frustration. It has been almost 3 weeks since Kurt Volker first testified. I have repeatedly asked to see that testimony, to be able to read it. I've asked formally, I've asked informally, and I, as a sitting member of Congress representing nearly 1 million Floridians, am not allowed by Adam Schiff to see that testimony. So how can we be expected to vote on something so consequential, potentially, as impeaching the President of the United States when I can't see anything that's going on? And you'll hear the other side say, well, under Nixon and Clinton, they had closed-door investigations as well. But the difference is the other side could call their own witnesses, and the president could have counsel present. Those are fundamental rights in our democracy as a nation with the rule of law. And Dana, you know I have fought from Afghanistan to West Africa, and there are countries overseas that handle this in a more fair and transparent way than the Democrats are today.
So they're standing, sticking to their guns. And Val Demings, also from Florida, but a Democrat, had this to say about this episode this morning. Watch.
The members of the Republican side are there if they choose to be during the depositions. They are certainly permitted to ask whatever questions they want to. They have access to the transcripts and information that is available. So I'm not really sure. I guess when you're desperate, you go back to complaining about the process.
There seems to be a real disconnect here. Like, do you believe that as a member of Congress, you should be allowed to sit in on a committee that you're not on that committee, you're on other committees and important committees, but you're not on that one. Do you think you should be allowed to sit there?
I'm on Armed Services Committee, and today we had a Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense, for which the committee I'm on has jurisdiction over as the witness, yet I'm not allowed to sit in or even, look, I just want to be able to read the transcripts. Instead, you have very selective leaks when they're against the president, and then we sit on it when, it may be exonerating the president. Here's another point. They've started every single hearing saying this is unclassified. There is no reason this should be down in a tiny room within a room, within a skiff at the basement of the Capitol. That's so Adam Schiff can control the narrative, can drive polling, and can get the vote that he wants, which is to impeach the president. And I should be able, we all, hundreds, Democrats and Republicans, hundreds of members have not been able to see anything. The members of the press know more than we know because it's leaked to them in real time.
Well, I mean, they only know what's been leaked. I mean, that's one thing. But, okay, so one of the complaints that Schiff had was that this morning that the members that tried to come into the skiff, which is a secure, basically a secure area, everyone, just so you know what that acronym means, and that there were phones brought in, and that's a violation. That could be an ethics violation. Now, if you offered to go in without your phone, would he let you in then?
We did. No, we did offer to go in, and the staff said initially only those committees. And eventually we just walked in, number one. And number two, again, there's nothing classified in that room. They start every single hearing saying this is unclassified. There's no reason it should be in a secure room at all.
What about yesterday?
Only reason that it is so that he can maintain control of it.
Yesterday, the committee did release the opening statement of Bill Taylor, the civil servant who testified yesterday. And that it's 15 pages long. Like, did you have a chance to read that, and did it cause you any concern?
Well, again, they released the statement that they thought was damaging the president. They haven't released others, and I am still not allowed as a sitting member to read Kurt Volker's statement, which said there was no quid pro quo. The Ukrainians didn't even know that the aid was withheld. They've also had testimony that the president has had questions about foreign aid across the board, whether it's in Central America or Afghanistan or other places. So it wasn't unique necessarily to Ukraine. None of that has been released. Only the stuff they like gets released. And that's what's so unfair.
Do you believe it is still the policy of the United States that the United States should be helping Ukraine to combat Russian aggression?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm the one of the ones that have pushed for lethal aid, which it's worth reminding folks the Obama administration, supported by many of these same Democrats, denied Ukraine.
Right.
So I absolutely think they should have lethal aid. I absolutely think there should be checks and balances if it's taxpayer-funded aid that's being used effectively. And the Javelin missiles that's mentioned in the president's transcript were being purchased completely separately.
Right.
So yes, I do.
While I have you, just a quick question. The president made a statement today about Syria. He's going to lift all of the sanctions on Turkey. He believes that there is a permanent ceasefire. Are you confident that this action will be a good one to protect the national security of the United States?
Well, I don't trust Erdogan, so I'm watching that very closely, but I am glad the president is talking about keeping a small number of special forces in Syria. Dana, we have to stay focused on ISIS. We cannot have ISIS 2.0, and the isolationists who think we can just pull people out like Obama did of Iraq are going to create the conditions for ISIS to come back again. We have to keep the airspace and small amounts of boots on the ground, relationships with the Kurds, so that we can keep ISIS from coming back again.
All right, Congressman Michael Waltz of Florida, I understand that they brought pizza and Chick-fil-A over to those who are protesting, so maybe if you run over there, you can get something to eat. Thanks for being here.
Well, I love Chick-fil-A. I have to say I love Chick-fil-A.
All right, thank you.
Sure.